I'm Sabrina Samuels, your lifestyle, etiquette, and relationship coach. You know, life is really beautiful when we make it that way. So let's get started. Welcome back to my show. I'm Sabrina Samuels, and I thank you for tuning in. You're fabulous, and I appreciate you. Never forget that. Before we get started, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Watch my show all the way to the end, share the show, and please leave me comments, suggestions, remarks. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Well, on this edition, I'd like to talk about a sensitive subject, and it's about hygiene. Hygiene. Are you really taking care of business with your hygiene? And this is for men as well as women. You know, I get so many compliments on how I smell. I was at a location, and this young lady asked me, "You smell so," well, she asked me a question, but she gave me a compliment first. She says, "You smell so good. How do you smell so good? And it's almost 5 o'clock. And I cracked up laughing. I said, "Well, thank you. I get that compliment all the time." I said, I enjoy smelling good, and I enjoy hygiene. So I gave her my phone number and just told her, give me a call, because I didn't want to hold up, the process of people leaving the office. So I said, that might be a good topic, because I do smell good most of the time. If I'm home sometimes and you just don't want to shower, you just want to hang out there, I tell my husband, I said, "Don't get close to me because I'm funky today." And he cracks up laughing. He said, "Not you." I said, "Oh yeah. I do enjoy, as I mentioned before, just smelling good, because I like the way I smell. And sometimes I can't even smell myself, because the perfume that I use, that I've been using for about 25 years now, it's called Angel by Terry Mugler. And it's a fragrance that actually sits with the body, and the aroma, works with your chemistry, and it has a beautiful smell and not a rancid smell as you go on throughout the day. You all know I have a few secrets when it comes to keeping that body fresh. I already told you about Dr. Bronner, and that's Castile soap. Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. I put it in a container, and I fill it with Castile soap, Dr. Bronner. There's a difference. And I put the rest with water, and I just, toss it a little bit like that. Don't shake it up, just flip it over and then put it in my shower area. And what I do is when I pump it, it turns into a nice foam, and it's just luxurious. Also, I love our Shell Botanics. If you have not shopped with our Shell Botanics, you have to visit that website, our Shell Botanics. You can find it in one of my, I have 2 shows that I did with them, and you will be able to find that. You'll also be able to find Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. I did a show on that too, so just look through the shows and you'll find it. But I have a new secret. In addition to using both those products, you gotta get some of this, baby. Lumi. Lumi. I'm holding it up for you. Don't text me and ask me to send you the information. Look it up for yourself. Please do that. Lumi. Lume, with an accent over the E. When I tell you this soap takes care of that private area, it will take care of the private areas. What I do is I get in the shower. First I, spray my apple cider vinegar. Sometimes I do that. Not all the time. It's when I've been under stress, etc., that I'll use the apple cider vinegar spray. But with this Lumi, I find that I don't have to do that. I get in the shower and get myself wet, and then I use my loofah, and it's a scrub little towel I made because it lathers up, but it also, does exfoliation as well. I lotion, I'm sorry, I soak my rag, I call it a rag, my towel, I call it a rag, up with the Lumi, and you can wash under those arms, because some women get musty, and men, you know how you can get musty. Wash under those arms and you just let it sit there. Then I take the Lumi and put it on my rag. I have another rag for this because you don't want to hurt yourself with exfoliation, because you're going to be going into the little coochie area. Coochie, coochie, coochie. That's how my husband said, coochie, coochie, coochie. Anyway, you're going into that area and you just scrub down there. Now, I've had people text me or email me and say, well, you're not supposed to put soap in that area. Well, I have done it. I'm 70 years old, and most of my life I have used soap. And my mother told us to wipe up in that crack. Get in that crack where the boy in the boat is. You get up there, you rub it. I mean, you don't have to scrub it where you make yourself irritated, but you got to put that, some stuff up there, and you don't want to put it so far that it goes up up the channel of the vagina. You don't want to do that. But you want to use it where you're getting at the sides, the boy in the boat, all around the outside, the pubic hairs. You get the back of your behind there, and you do the front first. Then you put a little more soap and you get the back of that behind there, that crack area, and go all the way up. Just don't be in that little area, that little crack. You got to go from the top of that crack all the way to the bottom of that crack. You get in there and you wash that crack real good and you let the soap sit. Then you rinse your towel. You put some more Lumi on. And then I put my Dr. Bronner's on top of the Lumi, and it makes a nice foam. And then I scrub my body. And then I scrub under my arms again, but I still have the Lumi soap on. Scrub there again and get that coochie real good. But I don't put Dr. Bronner in the front. I only use that in the back because that will kind of irritate you a little bit because it's a little strong. So you do that and then you wash the entire body. Then I rinse, myself off. Then I go with Shell Botanics and I use their soap and I put a little soap on there, and then I don't go where the Lumi is. I lotion up the body again, and just because Shell is so luxurious and their scent is so fresh. Oh my goodness, I love them. I love not only the soap, but I use the body lotion. It's an oil and it's a lotion that you mix together, and it makes your skin so beautiful. I mean, it's so luxurious. So that's the last step. Then I rinse everything off, and I don't rinse my private areas until the last step. Then I rinse all that off, and then I lotion up with our Shell and get out the shower. And then I use my Angel, etc. If you want your coochie to stay fresh for 2 or 3 days without washing it, now, I'm not saying do that. Of course, I had to experiment and see how long it would stay fresh because they say 48 hours. I wanted to see if that was true. It is absolutely true. It is unbelievable. So if you shower in the morning, you don't have to shower at night before you go to bed, and unless you need to, wipe up your private areas, that'll be fine. And in the summertime, of course, depending on where you live, you might have to shower morning and evening. But I do a shower, and I'll be honest with you, I don't shower. If I know I'm not going out to meet a client or whatever, I won't shower the next day. I'm in the house, I'm smelling fresh, but I will, wash my little private areas at night because I still have Big Daddy next to me, so I got to make sure I got everything straight down there. But I just had to share with you Lumi. And I told my husband about this Lumi. I said, baby, we're mature people now, and we don't want to smell like old folks. I know I don't like that old folks smell. I'm not going to have that. And I told my husband, I said, I don't like old folks smell now. And I wash them with Dial. It's an antibacterial. I said, it's an antibacterial, but it's not going to kill the scents that we need because of the foods that we eat, all the things that's out there in the atmosphere. It changes the body chemistry. So I just kind of, you can't make a man do anything, but I just kind of hinted along. Just use this, baby. Just in addition to your antibacterial soap, use this Lumi a little bit. And he finally told me one day, he says, you know, I like that so that it does keep you fresher. I said, I told you. And now we both just, oh, we're smelling so good. I tell you, I love it. So I hope that that blessed your day. I hope that that good information will bless you. Pass this information on to your friends and family. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. And make sure you give me a compliment or a comment or a suggestion. I would greatly appreciate that. Until we see each other again, I'm Sabrina Samuels, wishing you love, peace, happiness, and our Heavenly Father God, His divine order. He owns it all. And we go to Him for love, peace, and happiness. Let us not only bless ourselves, but let's bless each other with that good energy, that good synergy. And let's keep the ball moving forward. Love you, and talk to you soon. Bye now.